Y'all know what's going on. It's time for another episode of Doing Time with Joe. I'm your host, Joe Baker, and welcome to the show, y'all. Let me tell you about this girl named Shirley, right? Shirley was one of those females that she kept her dude that was locked up in the penitentiary. That's all she liked. She liked those street dudes. And most of the dudes that she messed with, she'd get hold to them, and they might have 2 or 3 years before they get out, right? So she riding with them. They get out, they knock her down, do whatever it is they got to do with her, you know what I'm saying? And then after a while, they get ghost on her. And Shirley was almost used to that. Like it didn't really matter. I don't know how she would always find somebody in the penitentiary, because it wasn't like they knew about her in the way that, they reach out to her, got a phone number. Just random dudes in the penitentiary would get a letter from Shirley, because my partner got a letter from Shirley, right? But he didn't really dig what she was talking about, so he handed the letter off. Now, it happens in here too, y'all. Y'all better remember this, all of y'all females out there. So he handed the letter off for a pouch, a chili pouch, to this vice lord dude. Yeah. He sold the letter to a vice lord dude, because, he read what was in the letter. Shirley, she was trying to get her a dude, right? And she wrote my partner and told him, who she was, her description, don't pictures in it, gave her description, how much money she making, how much she'll take care of him, and all this and that, right? And it almost sounded too good to be true. You feel what I'm saying? And next thing you know, he hands the letter off. He said, man, read this. He let the vice lord dude read it, right? Vice lord dude read it. He got excited. He thought he had something. So he said, man, let me get that. You ain't gonna write her back? He was like, nah, I ain't finna write her back, man. So my partner said, man, let me get something for you. Give me a chili pouch or something, man. So dude went and got the chili pouch for him, which at that time it cost me about $1.25 or something. So he give him the chili pouch, and he give a letter to the vice lord. The vice lord hit her up. He write her a letter. He telling her this and that about himself, and telling her, you wrote this letter to my brother, but my brother already got somebody. All of that's a lie. You know what I'm saying? Because my partner wasn't no vice lord. You feel what I'm saying? But he writes all this stuff to her, telling her this and that. He's trying to lay the foundation and explain to her how he got the letter. You see what I'm saying? Oh, look here. 3 days later, he get a letter back from Shirley saying, here go my number. Put my number on your list if you got this much time left. So the vice lord dude, he had about 4 years left, but she was talking about 2.5, right? But he wrote her back and said, I got 4 years left. That's going to fly by real fast with a queen like you on my side, whoop-de-whoop, right? He breaking it down to her. So she writes him back, said, put the number on the list. Go on and do this. He puts the number on the list, and he gives her a call. And when I say, like that on the first ring, Shirley answered that thing. She answered that thing. She said, hello? He said, may I speak to Shirley? And she said, this is she. And who am I talking to? Because she knew who it was, because when you call somebody from the penitentiary, it'll say, you have a collect call from such and such penitentiary or the correctional facility, and then it gives the name of the individual. Now see, on my phone, I didn't say my name because I was tripping, and when the recording came on and said record your name, I was talking to somebody else. I had my hand over the receiver, so it's just blank. So my people know when I call, they ain't gonna hear my name. They know it's me though, right? But anyway, most of the time it's gonna say your name. And here we go. Shirley got her man again. So he's calling in and talking back and forth. Now here's the thing. When you've been on somebody else's list in the penitentiary and you trying to get off that list and get on somebody else's list, it usually take a year. See, but what Shirley does, she know how this thing goes. When the dude that she's talking to before gets out of the penitentiary, she writes to prison and has her name removed from the list. So by the time she gets the little few months or maybe a year and a half out of the dude that just got out of the penitentiary that was kicking it with her, by the time he decides to leave her, she's clear to be able to get on somebody else's list. You understand what I'm saying? Shirley was knowing, she knew the business. So Shirley told him, she said, look, I'm going to send you a picture. You like what you see, let me know, and I'm going to get on your list and we can work this time. So he writes her back and says, I like what I see. And he had the visitation forms in the mail, so he told her, go on and get on my list so we can do this thing. So Shirley, hurry up and shot that thing up into the penitentiary. Now, the people in the VG, they already know Shirley. They are very familiar with her over the whole state. She done had dudes all over the state. You understand what I'm saying? Because Shirley was about 40. She was about 40, looking good though. You understand what I'm saying? But she's been doing this over and over for years, at least 10 or 15 years. And she going where her man go. She doing her thing. But she like dudes in the penitentiary. She like roughnecks, as she calls them anyway. You feel what I'm saying? But they got to be about some paper. They got to be about that paper. And they was. Everyone that she got. So check this out. This is what she did. So she told the vice lord dude, look, when she came to visit him, they hugging and kissing and doing all this. Like they real familiar with each other. But this their first visit. But they had been writing each other for a few months, you know what I'm saying, getting familiar. And they couldn't wait. So when they down there, they hugging and kissing and doing all this and that, whatever the case may be, the visitation people done had to tell them 2 or 3 times, stop it, or we're going to suspend the visit. You can't be doing all that up in the penitentiary. You got kids running around up in there. So here's the thing. She said, look, let's talk about the business and how he likes that. Because he was she didn't understand it though. She didn't realize this brother here, he ain't really just shaking the spot in the penitentiary. He ain't got it like that. He lucked up into being around when bro got that letter and didn't want it. So he done fell into the lap of a gold mine. He got it, because Shirley gonna get it. If he don't have a plug for her to go buy from, she know plenty of people. She gonna go get that thing. So he tell her, he said, look, I can get rid of it for this, that, and the third. If you go get some weed, I can do this, some cocaine, I can do that, and how I can do that. All of these different types of things. She said, I can get anything you need, but we're going to chop it down the middle because I'm going to put up the money up front for you because you my man. That's what she telling him. And he digging all that. He with all that. So now he go back and he tell his vice lord brother, look here, man, I got me one. So he's telling them what she's telling him, and they looking at him like, yeah, right. Yeah, right. Now, keep in mind, he ain't got no mule, though. But he don't know nothing about that. You feel what I'm saying? He don't know nothing about that. So he asking around. Guess what? He hollered at brother, one that gave him the letter, sold him the letter, actually. He hollered at him. He said, man, can you help me out? So my partner tell him, yeah, I got you. I find somebody for you, but you got to let me get some. He said, I'll break you off a little bit of something here and there. And I got you. So they get the mule. The mule willing to go to the visit. As long as they go on the visit at the same time, he going to bring that pack back. He bring that pack back. The first time they just had just a test run, little bit of quarter of some weed, just a little smoke sack, just to see what it was like. Because she want to see what he going to do. So he get it in. He can't make much off a quarter. He sent a little $50. But that was just so she could see what it was he was on. The next time she take him a whole zip. And then the next time she take him 2. And then she snuck a little powder in there the next time. And so on and so on and so on. And the vice lord dude, I'm going to tell you, he keeping it 100. He's sending out that bread. He's stacking his bread up with her as if he been knowing Shirley all his life. But he ain't been knowing her like that. He been stacking. And Shirley is loving the attention. They talk on the phone all the time, doing their thing. You know what I'm talking about. She's loving it. She loves the idea of the penitentiary relationship. She's shaking the spot for him. She talking about her boo thing. She'll be at the hair salon. The phone will ring. She telling everybody in the hair salon she on the phone with her boo thing and all this and that from the penitentiary. You know, she got the picture of him on the screensaver and everybody's like, ooh, he cute, girl, and all this old kind of stuff. It's just making her feel good, right? But they know Shirley. They know what Shirley on. Shirley about these roughnecks, these penitentiary dudes. She know this, and she ain't even ashamed of it. Why? She shaking the spot. She got her own money. She working. She doing her thing. But wait a minute. See, the young vice lord dude, now that he's got a little clout because he's moving that pack. See, that's how it working here. If you moving that pack, you can be a nothing dude. But if you moving that pack, now they're going to start to see you as somebody. You have value. You move up. Now he calling shots in the party, living in the vice lords and so at the top, the ones with the POA, they hollering at him and he breaking them off and all this and that. So now he got a little authority. Now he's sitting down at the table with them, plotting and planning and strategizing and coming up with things that they gonna do because all they know they got to get him to call Shirley and tell Shirley to get that pack because Shirley gonna go get that pack. She gonna go get that pack. She gonna shake the spot. So now the vice lord dude, he got some of the top ranking vice lord dudes at the penitentiary that he's at riding with him on the move. Let me tell you something. Shirley coming to visit him one day. She coming through the spot. And there's a state trooper. Whoop, whoop. Pull her over. Shirley tripping. She ain't even got the pack up in her like she's supposed to. Y'all know what I'm talking about. I'm not finna get graphic with it. Use your imagination. It's grown folks listening to this show. I know it, so you know what I'm talking about. She didn't have the pack up in her. Police look in the you know how he look in the car. He looking in there. You know, got the looking down there, got them shades on. You know how them state troopers do, trying to look all cool. You know what I'm saying? They look in the car and he see that thing right there, cause they been trained. He see it. It look like a bomb. You know, got wrapped up in the black electrical tape. Y'all know how it is. It's coming in the penitentiary. It's wrapped up in black electrical tape, right? It ain't wrapped up in no scotch tape. Because when it's wrapped up in that black electrical tape and she going to put it in that corner and put it in the thing and bring it right on in, that's how it's wrapped. So they've been trained to recognize it. So he see it right there. And he ain't say nothing, right? He just looked back up and he said, ma'am, where are you headed? And she said, I'm going to the penitentiary. Right then and there, he said, ma'am, would you please step out the car? She said, sir, what do I need to step out of the car for? He said, ma'am, it's a little thing called in plain sight. And he said, you see that package right there next to your knee? And right there, he said, ma'am, I think I smell weed. And it wasn't no weed. But that's what he said. But he knew by her saying she was on her way to the penitentiary, that's probably some drugs the way it was wrapped up. That's what he said. Now, really, he really pushing uphill. He ain't got no real probable cause because she ain't been smoking no weed. That wasn't no weed. Turned out that it was a coca. You feel what I'm saying? But there's no way for him to know that. But he done spooked her because she don't understand the business. She trying to play tough. She ain't tough. She ain't street. She just like street dudes. You understand what I'm saying? So she let him convince her to get out the car. And lo and behold, he grabbed the pack. He put his gloves on first. Grabbed the pack and he said, ma'am, what is this? Shirley started stuttering. So he said, ma'am, I'm going to have to call for backup. And he calls for backup. The canines come out there and they barking before they even get out the back of the patrol car. Woo, 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 woo. He put the pack under their nose. They just get the barking and then they sit down. Like a statue on the porch. You know how them statues be sitting down looking all majestic and whatnot. They just sit down. Because they got the pack right there. They didn't even have to run and get it. So Shirley, she's standing over her. Then all of a sudden the officer walks over to her. He said, ma'am, I'm going to give you one chance to help yourself. She said, sir, I'll do anything. I said, ma'am, what were you doing with this package? Where were you going to? Who were you going to deliver this to at the prison? She tells him the vice lord dude's name. He said, okay. So the other officer that was there, the other state trooper, he run dude's name. He's in NCIC. NCIC is the federal computer, right? Running through there. He confirmed vice lord. Low ranking. Oh, so he reports back to the other state trooper. He said, yes, she was taking it to a gang member. So the state trooper in charge of the scene now, he said, oh, okay. He said, ma'am, I'm going to have to take you in, and we're going to talk about this later, but I'm going to tell the district attorney how you cooperated. So he takes her in. Now, the vice lord dude back at the penitentiary, he panicking because she ain't showed up yet. She ain't never been late during the months that she been coming. Never ever been late, never ever missed a visit, right? So, he don't realize that she's downtown, you know what I'm saying, at the police station getting booked and about to talk to the DA. He don't know none of this, so he up to jail, he panicking. So, now the warden been notified. The warden been notified by the state troopers what's going on, right? So now all of them is plotting, planning, and strategizing. They keep in mind, see, these folks is quick on their feet. They quick on their feet because they started planning real fast what they was about to do. Because the warden been having a problem at the penitentiary with all them drugs coming in the penitentiary, right? But he knew that this vice lord dude was a low-ranking individual, so it ain't gonna really stop nothing. He don't know that the real deal is him and Shirley. He thinks because this dude is low-ranking, he can't be the one in charge of this move. He's thinking it's got to be somebody up top, right? That's what he's thinking. So this is what he do. He tell the DA, look here, we need to keep this on the low and take down the whole mob. Now, you know, them DAs love that. They love stuff like that. So now the DA's talking to Shirley. He tells Shirley, he said, look, cooperate with us, and we're going to cooperate with you. And Shirley said, what do you mean by that? Cooperate with us, and you'll cooperate with me. He said, well, if you agree to go into the prison and take some packs in there for us, to the guys that you take them to, and we can figure out what's going on and we can bust up this ring, you'll get probation. You won't go to prison for this. So Shirley, she's sitting there now, and she's thinking. He said, I'm not finna wait all day, man. What is your answer? So Shirley tells him, okay, I'll do it. But she was smart enough to say, can I get that in writing? He said, sure, you can get that in writing. You can get that in writing. But it's one thing I need you to do first. Is there any way, and we know how them guys got cell phones in that jail, prison. He said, is there any way that you can let your boyfriend know that you're going to be a little late? Because we're going to let you go on the visit. And she said, no, he doesn't have a phone. She lied. He doesn't have a phone, but if I leave now, I can probably still get at least an hour. And this is when the DA tell her, he said, the warden and them are waiting on you. So we're going to hurry up and get you there. So they put her in the patrol car, and somebody's got her car, and they hurry up and get her down there, right, with lights and everything blowing so they can get people out the way. Now, I'm telling you what's real now. They get her one right down the street from the prison, then they put her in her car because they don't want anybody to see her with the state troopers. So they put in her car, and then she drive up and park in the parking lot of the prison. They usher her right on in. They call the vice lord down. They're having a visit, and she tells him that I had car trouble. I had to go get a rental car, and this and that and the third, and I left the pack at home. And he said, oh, okay then. Are you coming back tomorrow? She said, I'll be back tomorrow, and I'll bring it. Just like that. Just like that. And he bought it. And guess what? They have a visit. She's tense and nervous and all this and that, right? But she's still playing her role. Because now Shirley, she trying not to go to jail, y'all. Shirley ain't trying to go to penitentiary. She ain't trying to go to penitentiary. So she just acting like ain't nothing happening. And they hugging and kissing and feeling and doing all this and doing all that. And then she said, well, it's time for us to go. I'll see you tomorrow, baby. And then she rolled out. She said, you going to call me later? He said, you know I am. So the visit ends, she leaves. When she gets back out into the parking lot, gets down the streets, the state troopers is waiting on her. They take her straight down to the district attorney's office. And the district attorney's got everything that she needs in writing. All it was waiting for was her signature. Shirley is an informant now. She's official, she's in the books. She works for the DA. And now it's time for her to go to work. And if you want to know the rest of this story, how Shirley put in work against the vice lord, you're going to have to listen to tomorrow's episode. This has been another episode of Doing Time with Joe. I'm your host, Joe Baker. And let's say peace.